here we are. We are today with Kavinda, one of my fellow recruiters. He's going to spill a few beans of how it is to be a recruiter, as well as a few tips for candidates out there looking for jobs. Hey, Kavinda, welcome to the show.
Ashat, thank you very much for having me.
Pleasure to have you. Let's get started. My first question: how do you get your attention or recruiters' attention in LinkedIn?
So, what's the number one thing that recruiters use? The number one platform?
LinkedIn.
LinkedIn, exactly. We use that more than any of our social media, right? So, if you want to get a recruiter's attention, you go and message them on LinkedIn. We're always waiting for a message and a CV from a candidate, right?
Correct.
That really makes our day.
Correct.
Right? That's
Correct.
one thing. And the second thing is we use the LinkedIn search, right? So always have your profile updated. So having your skills updated is like doing a little bit of search engine optimization for your profile, right? So update everything so that when we search, we get your profile at the top of our search results.
Right. So the tip: be on LinkedIn and not on LinkedIn. Make sure your LinkedIn profile is up to date and optimized. Cool. When we talk about CVs, what's the one thing candidates should stop doing right now? What do you think?
The number one thing is they should stop trying to keep their CVs short and brief.
Okay.
Just like your LinkedIn profile, list down everything that you have done. Okay, because when we are opening up that CV, right, what do? We do Control F and we go and search for those skills, right?
Exactly.
I've had numerous occasions where I call people and they have that skill and they have the experience, but they forgot to list it in their profile, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So skills matters.
Yes.
And if you want to get it, I mean, if you're not doing that right, then your CV is going to get skipped for sure. Okay. Another interesting one I have with ChatGPT and whatnot these days. Have you ever caught candidates using AI in interviews?
Yes. So it's like this. AI is the future, and it's actually right here, right? And yes, we do use AI tools every day, but the problem is the AI responds to you based on what you ask it. So if you don't know the basics, and if you ask the wrong question, you're going to get the wrong answer. So I think that's what in the tech space people look for, right? You need to have an understanding about the basic principles so that you can use AI to improve what you're doing.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, in the event that you found these guys using AI, you can see where the eyes are on,
Yeah.
right? Rejected?
Yes.
Sad
I think
truth.
it'll change in the future. The consensus right now is people use it to cheat, but if there's some way we can actually use it to improve our workload, I think then the consensus will change.
Yeah, right now, I think everyone's in a situation where they don't know, they're confused. Okay, these guys are using AI, but I think down the year, in a few years' time, it's going to be how better can you use the AI to get these answers.
Exactly.
That's where we're going to get that, right? Cool. All right. So when we talk about candidates again, what are some things that you look for in a candidate to check if they're in line with your culture, your organization?
I think the typical corporate answer would be someone with the right attitude who's willing to take on new responsibilities. But I'd say personally, it's someone who's willing to build something, invest their time into it, and also willing to challenge the existing status quo and also be themselves.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Not too overconfident, not too weak, but yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to ask you how it's being, how it's to be a recruiter, right? Funny one. If being a recruiter was a food, what would it be?
A food. Okay. I'd say a recruiter would be like a protein shake that has all the right nutrients. Okay, so the recruiters, if we bring in the right people, it helps the company grow, just like a protein shake.
I was actually thinking of a fruit. I couldn't figure it out. I was thinking of a fruit where it is soft outside and hard inside.
Oh.
See, from the outside, they look at recruiters like, it's recruiting. I mean, they find people, there's plenty of people out there.
Yeah.
But if you really get into the nitty-gritties of being a recruiter, you know the hardship that we go through, the struggles that we go through, right? But I couldn't figure out what that fruit is. I need to. Okay. Kavinder, another interesting question. Have you ever flirted with a candidate?
I haven't met any candidates on Bumble, Masha.
All right. Okay. I'll not drill in. I'll not drill in. So, Karan, the next one about you. Is there a particular company in Sri Lanka that in the future that you would love to be a part of? Maybe it's your dream company to work for.
I would say Microsoft.
Okay. Nice. Interesting. Any particular reason that you have in your mind?
Yeah, I think their coffee is probably better than my company.
Good one. Kavinda, so we have, when it comes to recruitment, right, we have multiple rounds of interviews, like from us recruiter screening to, shortlisting and then putting them to assessments. Sometimes we give them take-home assessments, and then when we pass them, then they come back to multiple rounds of interviews or technical interviews, and then cultural interview, and then we have HR interview, offer discussion and whatnot. Until it takes a good long process. If I'm to ask you, with your experience, if there is one element in the recruitment process that you want to completely remove, what would it be?
That would be the offer negotiation process. I think at the point of receiving a profile, we should communicate to the candidate whether their notice period and their salary expectation is within our budget. Right?
Makes sense.
Because I don't think we should get a profile that is out of our range and our deadlines, right? And then interview that person and at the end reject that person saying, "Oh, sorry, we can't hire because you're too expensive." I would like to eliminate that.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah, I mean, it's a waste of time for a lot of people.
Exactly, yeah.
Got it. Okay, one word answers. What do you prefer in candidates, experience or potential?
Oh, I have to give one word answer.
Yes, just you need to choose one, experience or potential.
It depends, but I would say potential.
Okay. Skills or attitude?
Attitude.
Attitude. Okay. Now about you. What do you prefer, money or culture?
Now, I prefer culture.
Remote or hybrid working?
Hybrid.
All right. So I have a few more statements for you. What we do is I'm going to read a statement and you're going to say if it's true or false. Right? Recruiters only spend 5 to 10 seconds scanning a CV.
False.
Right? Okay. Recruiters always check a candidate's social media.
False.
Okay. Cultural fit can outweigh technical skills.
Depends, but I'd say technical skills are more important.
Okay. Recruiters secretly prefer candidates who are currently employed over unemployed ones.
False.
False. Being too active on LinkedIn can hurt your chances.
False.
Cool. I think we got to the final stages. That's pretty much it. So it was a very interesting chat, and I think I loved the chat we had. So thank you so much for being a part of this, and I'm sure you're going to be in part of my future videos as well.
Definitely.
Yeah. Anything that you want to say? Okay. One more thing. Anything you want to say to the folks out there who's looking for jobs, especially interns? If you have an advice for the interns.
For the interns, I would say do as many projects as you can. Get that skill set and exposure so that when your profile is presented to a company, they might have only 1 or 2 internships available, right? And there can be hundreds of candidates.
Correct.
Right? So make sure you have the right skills so you're at the top of the at least top 5 list of that they're going to consider.
I think I completely agree with Kavinda there. Personal projects, I mean, I've been recruiting a few interns lately. One of the significant things that we look at for is outside of the academic projects that they've done, what are you doing personally? Are you being mentored by someone? There's a lot of seniors out there who are, willing to help you guys or mentor you guys. So try to seize those opportunities. Try to, spend as much as time as possible in personal projects and explore new things. So you might actually surprise the interviewers when you get a shot. Thank you.
Thank you for having me, Asha.
Thank you.